Have you ever heard these names? Ernest Green, Elizabeth Eckford, Jefferson Thomas, Terrence Roberts, Carlotta Walls, Minnie Jean Brown, Gloria Ray, Thelma Mothershed, Melba Patillo. Well, those are the Little Rock Nine. See, I've got my Little Rock Nine shirt on again. Those are the Little Rock Nine. Well, did you know that there were more kids, more black kids in the winter and spring and summer of 1957 that thought about, were on a list to integrate Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas? Well, if you remember my book talk, this book talk that I did about the year after the Little Rock Nine went into Central High, then you know about the Little Rock Nine. You know if I wear this shirt, then I'm doing a historical fiction book talk. Well, this book by Sharon M. Draper. Sharon M. Draper, she also wrote Out of My Mind. She wrote this book. Okay, it's a fiction book. Okay, the girl she's writing about was actually not on a list. She's just using research and writing about how it would have been. In this book, the girl's name is Sylvia. Well, Sylvia was approached about going to school in Central High when she would start high school the next year, and because she was best of the best in her class, incredibly smart, incredibly talented. A lot of kids were considered, but the names that I started with, the first of my book talk there, the names I read aloud. If you remember my, hopefully my book talk there about Elizabeth Eckford, she was one of them. That's the very famous photo. But these kids that were considered, their parents were talked to. They actually went through an interview process. And as it began to be known who these kids were, they were threatened. Their families, like if they worked somewhere in town, they were threatened that they would lose their job if if their child went to school. Their black child went to this school, and that was very difficult. Tough time, very tough time. It's what I call the black stain in our state history, which this book, Fire from the Rock, get it, Little Rock, by Sharon M. Draper, writes about that, how Sylvia has an older brother that would love the chance to do this. He is what you would call somebody with anger issues, and his family knows, he knows it even, that he would have a very difficult time when people were not being kind to him, like you know how the Little Rock Nine were, if you've read any about this. But Sylvia, on the other hand, is very calm, fearful about what might happen, but she thinks maybe this is something that I need to do to help future kids in Arkansas and even other cities in the United States. That even though in 1954 the Supreme Court ruled that blacks could go to whatever school, 1957, do the math there, it's when it was started, when it happened in Little Rock. So if you want to continue reading about this huge piece of history in Little Rock, Arkansas, right here in our home state, then you need to read this Sharon M. Draper book. It's fabulous historical fiction. It's my favorite. Hope you have a favorite genre too. Keep reading.